Folks, in my 20 years in the league, I've never seen anything like this. What I'm about to tell you is absolute, rock-solid, inside information, and it's about to shake the foundation of the NFL universe. I've been behind the scenes, listening to whispers from trusted scouts, insider sources, and front office conversations that are so explosive. If you knew the truth, your jaw would hit the floor. But the most staggering part, it's happening right now as we speak. Yes, something unprecedented is unfolding in the shadows of NFL decision-makers, something that could redefine the entire landscape of the league. And I promise you, what I'm about to reveal is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a secret even bigger waiting to be unearthed, and when it drops, nothing in your football world will be the same. If you're serious about your NFL intelligence, if you hunger for the kind of inside scoop that only a few truly get to see, then you need to stay locked in. Because right now, there's a seismic shift happening, and stateside, nobody has a clue. But guess what? I do, and I'm going to take you straight into the heart of this underground storm. So before we reveal the full picture, do yourself a favor. Smash that like button, subscribe for exclusive insights, and hit the notification bell. Because what I'm about to tell you will set the NFL on fire. The difference between fans and insiders. The lucky ones are about to see the truth uncovered before everyone else. Now, let me take you into the very core of this puzzle. It involves the Washington Commanders, a team desperate for salvation, a franchise imploding after a disastrous 2025 season that finished 5-12, with a roster that's talented but desperately needs a spark, a game changer. On the other side, we've got a player whose name echoes through NFL walls, Denzel Ward. Yes, the Cleveland Browns' shutdown corner, a 5-time Pro Bowler, and arguably the league's most elite cover man. But what makes this story so explosive isn't just his talent. It's the perfect storm of market conditions, team needs, and a secret back channel that points to a monumental trade that could reshape the entire NFL. And I've got every detail. Let's first dissect the Commanders' current state, because it's crucial to understand why a move like this isn't just an option, it's an absolute necessity. Dan Quinn's arrival as head coach last year gave the team a shot of life, but the horrors of 2025, a 5-12 record, dead last in the NFC East, a defense that hemorrhaged yards and points, exposed glaring holes. Their secondary, once a strength, deteriorated into chaos. Opponents shredded their coverage, receivers ran free, and the pass rush lacked the elite edge needed to pressure quarterbacks consistently. The scheme under Joe Witt Jr. was predictable, and worst of all, the team's confidence was shattered. They fired Witt, promoted David Bluff to OC, but the defensive issues, especially in coverage, persisted. The roster's talent is there. Jayden Daniels, their young quarterback, shows flashes of brilliance, but the supporting cast around him needs an infusion of elite talent, especially in the secondary. They need a shutdown corner, a true game wrecker, someone who can instantly elevate the defense from mediocre to dominant. Now, let's get into the analytics and film study. The Commanders' secondary was statistically among the worst in 2025, ranking 27th in pass yards allowed, dead last in completions allowed, and surrendering an absurd 7.8 yards per attempt. While Jayden Daniels has flashed promise, he's also had a rough patch when pressured and under duress, and a lockdown corner like Ward can change the entire dynamic, not just in coverage but in how offenses approach the entire game. Watching Ward's tape, the man is a master of mirror coverage, footwork, and psychological warfare. His hips are fluid, his closing speed relentless, and his ability to read routes and bait quarterbacks is second to none. In 2024, he posted a career-high 19 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, and a PFF grade of 68.4, solid, but underrated by many. Scouts rave that Ward plays with an intelligence and physicality that simply can't be taught. On film, he's the guy who can erase a one receiver in a matter of seconds, forcing quarterbacks into bad decisions and flipping the momentum in crucial moments. What about advanced metrics? In 2024, Denzel's coverage stats ranked among the league's top tier. Only a handful of corners had higher success rates in man-to-man coverage, and his pressured completion percentage was staggeringly low. Opposing quarterbacks target him the least among top-tier CBs, with a catch rate below 50% when thrown his way. His 49 combined tackles, 19 PDs, and 2 INTs that season weren't just numbers. They were a statement. And what's more, his leadership on the field, his presence, vocal and commanding, makes him a linchpin for any elite defense. But what pushes this into the extraordinary is his contract status. Signed through 2026 with a $100 million extension, he's a high-value, elite player whose market is only rising. That's where the trade mechanics come into play. How could a deal like this work? Well, here's the inside scoop. The Browns, despite their struggles, view Ward as a cornerstone, but they're also aware that their window is uncertain. With the upcoming draft and looming salary cap questions, they're eyeing a rebuild or a reshuffle. The Commanders, on the other hand, desperately need a player of Ward's caliber to stabilize their secondary and satisfy the demands of a fan base hungry for respect. A trade would likely involve a package centered around a high draft pick, perhaps a future first-rounder, combined with a solid young player or a mid-round pick, plus some cap gymnastics to make the numbers work. Cleveland's front office is known for being shrewd. They'd want a premium return, and trust me, they're prepared to get it. The Commanders, under Adam Peters' leadership, are willing to pay the premium, even if it means going all in on success in 2026. Now, how does this fit scheme-wise? Washington's defensive coordinator, still to be officially announced, would have a field day with Ward on the boundary. He fits seamlessly into Quinn's aggressive, versatile scheme, capable of playing multiple coverages, blitzing off the edge, and disrupting passing routes. Ward's skill set isn't just a fit, it's a perfect match. The comparison here isn't just to past shutdown corners, think Richard Sherman or Jalen Ramsey, but a player who can take away the entire side of the field, freeing up blitzers, linebackers, and safeties to make plays. The worst-case scenario, Ward's injury history could be a concern, but his durability over the last 2 seasons has been impressive. He's a proven warrior who's played 16 games each year, and his physical conditioning is elite. Projected impact. Offensively, the Commanders would become one of the few teams in the league with a truly lockdown corner. Opposing quarterbacks would have to think twice before targeting Ward in turn. That would open lanes for their pass rush and create turnovers. On offense, Jaden Daniels would benefit from a secondary that can force bad throws and create quick-hit opportunities. The ripple effect. A team that's been in rebuild mode could suddenly become a playoff contender, with the defense transforming from a weakness into a weapon. Now the final question, is this real? Is Denzel Ward really heading to DC? Here's my professional opinion. It's more than just a possibility, it's an absolute necessity for the Commanders and a gold mine for Cleveland if the negotiations hit their mark. The NFL is a game of chess, and this move hinges on timing, smart cap management, and the willingness to bet on a proven superstar. I'd expect the trade to be structured over the next 2-3 weeks, with early discussions already underway. The key for Washington will be convincing Cleveland they're serious, offering a package worth the elite talent Ward provides. And let me tell you, if this deal goes through, it's game over for the NFC East. Teams like the Eagles, Giants, and Cowboys will tremble at the thought of trying to pass against Ward's coverage. Opposing offenses will have nightmares about him shadowing their best receivers, shutting down routes, and forcing turnovers at critical moments. The ripple effect could even influence draft strategies nationwide. Teams will see the Commanders suddenly become a defensive nightmare, and others will scramble to counter. So, here's what to watch for. Updates on trade talks, leaks from both franchises, and any shift in Cleveland's front office stance. Because when a deal of this magnitude gets close, the leaks start flowing. And trust me, I've got sources who are whispering that Cleveland is actively exploring options, and Washington is willing to pay top dollar. The next few weeks will be a war of negotiations, but make no mistake, Denzel Ward is on the move, and when the ink dries, the NFL will never be the same. Now, I want you to think about the bigger picture. That trade isn't just about personnel, it's about legacy. Cleveland's decision to move Ward could mark the end of an era or the start of a new dynasty for the Commanders. Imagine a defense where Ward patrols the boundary, unmatched and unchallenged. Imagine the headlines, Washington's new king, Ward changes the game, the cornerback revolution. This isn't a typical trade, it's a seismic shift, a statement to the entire league that the Commanders are serious, hungry, and ready to dominate. And the craziest part, it's only just beginning. So keep your eyes peeled, your ears open, and your mind sharp. Because what's happening behind the scenes right now could be the most historic move of the 2026 NFL season. And believe me, you don't want to miss a single second of this story. The NFL's new power dynamic is about to be written, and Denzel Ward might just be the author of that chapter.